Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Gamer Guardians podcast. I'm your host, the Drunken Guardian, Danny Martinez, and it is a very, very empty house today. We got just a sober Guardian, Danny, today. What's up, Danny?
Hey, everybody.
So, this is episode 70 of the podcast. We don't have a lot of news going on today. It's mostly just us bullshit talking and stuff like that about Sifu, which was just recently released, and we'll just talk a bit about Nintendo Direct and what we looking forward to, what games we're looking forward to, because February is a really busy month for gaming. So is March. We got a lot of good games coming out. Aside from that, I just thought I would mention some quick news, a quick article, since for the past couple weeks, a lot of media has been covering the whole Activision Blizzard purchase, and then afterwards, Sony bought Bungie, and everyone's wondering, what Sony's response would have been to the Activision Blizzard stuff, and they think that Bungie was the response, which is not true because they were actually trying to make this deal way before the Activision Blizzard announcement was actually done. And then people are asking, well, what about Nintendo? Is Nintendo going to do anything? So we have an article here from Game Informer, and they said Nintendo pretty much said we're doing our own thing, which is not a surprise. That's the usual response for Nintendo. I have a quote here from the Game Informer article. It says, "Our brand was built upon products crafted with dedication by our employees, and having a large number of people who don't possess Nintendo DNA in our group would not be a plus to our company," Nintendo president Shuntaro Furukawa said, as reported by Bloomberg. And then the last piece here says, sorry here. As the publication knows, Furukawa recently said late last year that Nintendo has plans to invest roughly $870 million in strengthening its game development, focusing primarily on growth. In other words, it sounds like Nintendo's plan is to continue to invest in studios it currently owns and works.
Mario.
Mario, I mean, no surprise there.
$800 million in.
So I guess whatever companies that they're working with now is what they're gonna still pursue and deal with in the future. They're not purchasing any new companies. Yeah, Mario, freaking Metroid and Zelda and whoever
Kirby.
else is all in Kirby. This Kirby open world thing looks really good. They showed a lot of new footage in Nintendo Direct announcement. So Nintendo's just doing their own thing as normal. What were your impressions, Danny?
It's what we said last week. I mean, we actually did mention that. Like, we were joking how Bungie, when we announced that Bungie got taken over, bought, or whatever. And we were like, yep, and Nintendo's still just going to do their thing and not give a shit because that's what they've always done. They've never really cared about other big games that they haven't made and they haven't first party developed. That's the biggest thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only time they do care is when it's the smaller, you know, smaller independent Japanese fucking games that they get released onto their system. That's like the only time where they'll like do some kind of buy it like that. But it's like if you do hear something like that, you're not gonna care because it's like somebody you don't know who they are.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I think they're more focused about the games themselves than rather like the names that are behind those games.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, not to say that to diminish any of the developers that make like the Metroid or Zelda games and stuff, but I think they focus more on just the games themselves. Yeah, and they focus big on JRPGs as well. So the big JRPGs are the biggest things in on the Switch, even on the Wii, like when it comes to third party stuff. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense too that they'd focus on that. But we're gonna get more
There's a
JRPGs.
there's a nice RPG I want to play. It's on PlayStation. It's on all the consoles right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Edge of Sanity, Edge of something.
I don't
Check it
know.
out.
Okay.
It's classic turn-based RPG, but it has like that, Tales of Arise kind of tone to it,
Okay.
like classic RPG game.
Mm.
So I'm actually, it looks great. It looks phenomenal. And I was surprised it was on the Switch, and I might get it for just with the Switch because it'd be a good game to play
Yeah. Finally, you
on the
got your
road.
Switch. You got shit to play on your Switch. You got to get an Xbox soon.
No, I don't think I get. Honestly, I don't have room for the Xbox. To be honest with you, I mean,
No,
it's just way too big. I barely have room for the PlayStation. Like,
I pre-planned that shit because I hadn't. Well, I bought the PlayStation first, and I didn't buy the Xbox till like much later. But I specifically left space on my wall unit, just like
But I can't, that's the
for
thing.
the future.
I really don't. It would have to go into
No,
another
I know,
space.
I know. I
But
remember
it'd
how
be
your
just,
living room looks.
it'd be, it's just, it'd be, it needs to have some air so it can breathe,
Yeah.
right? So I can't put it in like a shelf or something.
Hmm.
I know it's just legit don't have room for it, so I'm not gonna focus on it.
Mm.
Honestly, I would buy a good laptop first
Do some
before I
PC
bought
gaming.
that. Well, because all those Microsoft games are basically on the PC anyway now,
True, true.
like even Halo and shit. So I would buy a good PC first
Mm.
and play any of those games because they're going to be on Microsoft on a PC. So
Okay.
I buy it, play it there first if I really wanted to play one of those games. But there is none of them I want to, and hook it up to my TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then play like that if I wanted to.
I'm telling you, whenever you do get your PC, and try not
I
to.
mean, it's not gonna be old for a long time.
Oh
I
no,
could
no, I'm
get to it.
sure. Well, I mean, you have a lot. I know you have your work laptop now, and I'm sure you could
But
probably toss something in there. But like, if you when you ever get a
eventually,
chance to do some PC gaming, I think you'll really like Inscription. Try to avoid spoilers, because that shit completely did a 180 for me after I got through the final boss. Like, I seriously don't do any spoilers, because I know you, like, I know you don't care about spoilers, and you still continue to play the game and enjoy it, like that's fine.
yeah,
But like, trust me, like this, it turns into a completely different game.
it's interesting.
It's weird. Yeah, yeah. So like, I thought I was finally getting the groove of the whole card battle stuff, and I was finally got up to the last boss. I had a nice deck. I had a nice totem thing, which kind of gives you like buffs for your cards and stuff, and everything was set up nice and perfect. And then I beat him, and then like, I don't want to say, but you just do a couple more things, because it's not just a card battle game, but it's almost a bit like an escape room, because you can actually get up from your table and explore the cabin that you're in. You're kind of like imprisoned in there by this guy. So you could walk around the cabin and do little things in the cabin to kind of like unlock hidden items, unlock some more cards, find keys. You find like a piece of film, and that's kind of like the biggest important thing to kind of like defeat the final boss in the end. And that's only if you catch the little hints and the little puzzles that are throughout the little cabin, and then you still continue your
No,
card game. So it's like, it's really well done. And then after you beat it, it flips the script on you. Really good.
it's interesting.
Um,
I mean, I would play something like that, but again, like my time is very limited.
yeah,
As I
yeah,
already said, so I was like,
yeah. Being an adult.
I guess we could transition into Sifu now for because like one of the things that I like and hate about Sifu
Yeah.
is that again my time is very limited, so I kind of want a game that I can just play for a week or two and be gone
Uh huh.
and not worry about it and then go on to the next one.
Uh
And
huh.
Sifu's perfectly that. It's a great game,
Yeah, you could do a
phenomenal game.
level. You could either do the whole level and it'll take you 30 minutes, or you can go straight to the boss and just spend like 10. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not even that. It's like this is one of those games that once you beat, once it's if I was playing a game, let's say I was a regular gamer and I was playing a game every day, you know, consistently. This will be a game that you play for a week and master it and then never play it again
Do you think you're gonna beat it in
because
a week?
no, it's gonna take me a little longer.
Hmm.
I probably will beat it in a week, but I'm saying if I
Just
was playing
figuratively.
every
Yeah.
yeah, figuratively, if I was playing every day, like consistently, we're playing the way we used to, or like how your average probably gamer plays right now, you know, they can beat the game within less than a week.
Hmm.
And I'm talking about mastery the game. But once you beat the game, like really beat it and get the true ending, you're not gonna play it again. It's not
Yeah.
really
Very true.
not really that type of game. I mean, in theory, it sounds fun, but it's not really a game that
I
you're
sh-
gonna just pick up and play for fun.
I should
Once you beat it,
say
you're probably gonna be done with it.
I should say that's very true, and this is one of those games that I love to deal with, because yeah, we don't have that much time, and probably the only
Yeah,
game, as you know, that I'll probably invest in is either Final Fantasy Online or Destiny.
yeah, exactly.
So, but I just read an article yesterday, I believe, they do plan on doing DLC for Sifu.
Yeah, and that's gonna be fine and dandy, but again, that's not gonna come for at least at best
So would you go
like
back
six
to it
months.
though if they offered like new levels
Yeah,
and stuff like
yeah. Like
that?
I said, I go back to it and just play the new levels real quick, or the whatever new bosses they added, and then that'll be the same thing. You'll play it for less than a week and then forget about it completely because it's not a
Yeah.
game you can keep on playing and keep on. It's easily mastered game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think I played the game three sessions of
Mm-hmm.
like an hour, maybe an hour and a half each, and I'm at the last boss already. You know what I mean? And I mastered the first two bosses. Like
Yeah.
like the second boss I died once. The
That's
first one I had no
really
doubt.
that's really
You know
what
what
I
I
like
mean?
about the game is that you could really have a sense of progression because you do feel like you're getting better, and it's not just like the little upgrades that you could do like throughout your time you're dying and stuff, but like you genuinely learn how to block better, parry better, dodge better. Like it, yeah. Like I get through the first two levels fairly easy now, and as you know, like I just started getting the pattern right for the girl with the spinny knife thingies, whatever her name is.
Yeah. I mean, and again, that's the thing. It's like you once you master the game, why would you want to play it again? You know what I mean? You
I
mastered
mean,
it. You're
there
done.
could be other challenges that they could
And
add eventually. They could do like like oh that would be hard, but do like a one hit kill thing, like you like just like they're doing with Metroid Dread. They're adding a new
but it's
content
not.
to it where it's one
I mean,
hit and you start all over.
and again, yes, that sounds fine and dandy. But again, once you beat the game, you're not your average, your hardcore gamers love something like that. Yes, they really do.
Yeah,
But there's nothing to
that's what I'm saying.
but there's nothing to keep you from going. I want to go back to this. You know, I'm gonna keep playing this game right now because it's very limited. You know, the learning curve is kind of easy, and not that it's easy, it's just that
Well, the learning
it's not
curve's easy,
the
but
game. The
difficult
game is not.
it's very
The
technical.
game is not. The game is not long enough to keep it you going for a year or whatever, or like, or
I don't
even
know, dude. There are
months.
some people out there. They fucking beat Dark Souls with their feet with a Guitar Hero controller. Like those are the type of people that they're always
Yeah.
looking
Okay.
for different.
That's a
They're always looking for different types of challenges. So like I could still see those hardcore people playing Sifu
yeah, yeah,
like nonstop trying to perfect either like do like a no damage run, a speed run,
yeah.
things like
Well,
that.
and the thing, like, they're already. It's hasn't game been out for 3 days or no?
Yeah.
Technically, today it came out today. Technically, right?
Tuesday came out Tuesday,
No, Tuesday. Okay.
and we got to
So
play
the
it
game's been
Sunday.
out. Yeah, the game's been out technically for less than a week, and there's already the game could be beaten in 35 minutes. So they
Hmm.
already have these crazy speed run type things. And yes, obviously there's going to be its niche that everything has, regardless of what game it is. It could be fucking Mega Man. They have a niche where somebody's going to keep playing to try to do something, master something, no hit at all, whatever. But I'm talking about the average gamer, the average person who's going to pick up this game is going to drop it after 2 weeks
Hmm.
and move on to something else, which is not a bad thing right now.
No, I
And,
think we
and I'm
need
not
more
saying
games like that, which
that's what
worries
I'm
me
saying.
because PlayStation has said they want to start releasing up to like in the next couple years they want to release 10 games of service games, meaning online games like Destiny
Yeah.
and Final Fantasy and stuff like that. Like that's overwhelming. Like even the hardcore players have one or two service type games that they can stick with and invest their time in. Why are you releasing 10?
Well, this goes into a conversation that we had before: is 500 hours of a game too much or too little? You know,
Yeah.
like we talked about that before, and how I definitely said that we were spoiled in the fact that we um we're so used to these games just like this, just like Sifu. It's a great fucking game. We're done now. Next.
Hmm.
And back in the day, games were more like the 500 games. 500
But
hours, you
your
really deep dove into it.
Your argument that episode though was saying that you prefer more games where you can invest more time rather than have a short game that you can beat in a week and be done
No,
with
no,
it.
no, 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 no. What I yeah. what I said was in the. I think we have an old school mentality of
Uh-huh.
that's how we were used to gaming, right? And we now have more adapted ourselves to what how kids play now.
Hmm.
But in the beginning, we used to be like, and again, it was around the time when Resident Evil and all this stuff came out, where I was like, oh, sure, that sucks.
Yeah. Beat
But
a
then
game,
now,
move on. Beat a game, move
yeah,
on.
and now I kind of get that, and now I look forward to that because I don't have the time to really play game. If I had time to play games, I would want something that's more in depth. You know what I mean? Like I can really get into and really slow grind that for the entire. If I'm playing 4 hours every day, really slow grind, I would want something slower and not I could beat it in a day. I'm done.
Hmm.
You know. So, but because I don't have that time, I only get to play like an hour or two every week. I look forward. I'm more appreciative of this of the short games because again, right now is great. If this was December, this game would have came out in December. To me, this is really disappointing because there are no games that came out in December. Right, there was nothing really playing. We were waiting for shit to come out.
Hmm.
Right, in January too. So if this came out, this is the only game that have come out. Well, I'd be like, fuck, that sucks. I want something to play, and this did not really scratch the itch of me wanting having something to keep me busy until all this stuff comes out. But right now, it's great because next week comes out another fucking game, and it's like four good launch titles are coming out this
Speaking of
month.
which, are you gonna be putting any time into Destiny when it comes out on 22nd?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Especially if they upgrade you, like they have been.
Hmm.
I know they haven't announced what they're doing, but I'm pretty sure they
Oh,
did
they
that.
do. I didn't know what you meant by that, but yes, they are. They're starting you out with a higher light level.
Perfect. So
Yeah.
then I'm really looking forward to that. I'm hoping they give me all the fucking ice shit too. All the stasis stuff unlocked and give you all that.
I don't know if it's all unlocked, but I do know they're upgrading the Void class to be customizable, just like the Stasis class now.
Yeah.
And then
So it's
in the future, they'll work on Solar and Arc.
yeah, and again, so I'm looking forward to all that, but and that's why I wanted to wait. I didn't play the Laxus bench because I wanted that. I wanted just to skip all the stuff that I didn't really want to do, and I
Hmm.
missed. Not that I didn't want to, but I just missed out on. I didn't
Hmm.
have the opportunity because I was playing Final Fantasy. Really, I
Hmm.
could only choose one at a time.
Yeah.
Now I'm done with Final Fantasy. I mastered this, so that everything can, almost everything you can kind of do in it. So it's like for me, Destiny would be next. But I'm
Yeah.
also looking forward to Elden Ring. Elden Ring is a game that I always talk about how it has a great story, it's challenging, it's fun, and it's going to keep me entertained for at least a month. It definitely will keep me
Hmm.
entertained for a month. There's lots of stuff that you can do, stuff to unlock, stuff. That's the thing about Sifu that I don't like is that there isn't anything besides mastering how to play the game. That's it. The stuff that you're able to unlock suck. They're really bad. And it's actually kind of disappointing. Like I
You talking
wish
about
that you
the
could
the
unlock.
the, the skills?
Yeah,
Hmm.
this all like they have a one that's like a nut shot thing where you
Hmm.
punch them in the nuts, which it really just works just the same as every other kind of move you have. Like it's not really that big of a difference. Doesn't
Yeah.
make the game. None of them move.
Ma-
Almost there are like
majority
one or two.
majority's like flashy moves and stuff. I find almost the only thing that's been the most useful is the catching and shoving of items.
Yeah, I like the kick. Then you kick the items and
Yeah.
and and the knockdown that you do. Like I like those two things, but again, it's a handful. There's like
Mhm.
20 or 30 moves you can unlock,
Yeah,
but there's
and only
only
like
like
three or four actually are worth it.
that are actually useful for the rest of the game, which
Yeah.
is kind of disappointing because I just I wish that you can unlock move styles. Like
Mm.
imagine unlocking the Drunken Monk and you being able to use that for your new style
Yeah,
type of thing. Like
that'd be a cool.
really,
That'd be a cool
and again,
DLC.
I don't think it's gonna be DLC. I think it's gonna be in the. I think
New
it's gonna be in
game.
the sequel.
Yeah.
It's gonna be in the sequel definitely.
Mm.
And you never know. Like they might actually do a DLC where instead your whole style changes. So you get to
Yeah,
go back and try the whole game as a new style.
yeah.
And again, that'd be fun, but you can tell they're gonna save all the. This was kind of like their test the waters to see if this will work or not.
Well,
You
they
get to
kind of already tested. I mean, not to say that you're not right, because it does make sense to test the waters with a single player experience like this. But
yes,
like this company had a game already that was very similar to this called Absolver,
yeah,
but it was more of a co-op game, and for some reason it wasn't well received because it focused a lot on different fighting styles that you could switch between them and kind of customize your combos and your fighting styles and how you switch between them and stuff like that. And then of course the customizing of the character. I don't know why that was such like that. I was very much a focus in the game. I don't know why it was, but it wasn't a very well received game, and not because it was bad. It was just because it was or marketing. Not a lot of people knew it
yeah,
existed. So
and that's
Sifu
the
did a
thing.
lot better.
So as I'm saying, so Seafood now that they test the water, meaning they're gonna make a shitload of money off of this game.
Mm-hmm.
When the next one comes out, Seafood 2 or whatever next game they come out, it's gonna be much bigger, grandiose, and have you could tell they're gonna do tons of fucking different styles, and just it's just gonna be bigger and it's gonna be more fun,
It's gonna be called
and
C
that's what
two.
yeah, and that's what I'm looking forward to a lot, So, um,
Yeah. So Elden
but
Ring.
Elden Ring, I'm definitely because Elden
Yeah.
Ring is really can be more of for like what I've seen and heard. It's definitely more story driven of a Dark Souls game. It's like Dark Souls with a story, and it's gonna be fun and big open world type of thing that you could do tons of shit, and it's just gonna be a bigger game that it's gonna require more. You be able to even though you're achieving and gaining more faster than you do in Sifu, because you kind of get stuck in Sifu a lot,
Mm-hmm.
like the old Dark Souls games, where you get stuck in the one spot. You're gonna be able to evolve and keep going and moving and explore and do stuff like that. So I don't know. I feel like you get more for your buck for that,
So
and
are
stuff like that. I'm
you
really looking forward to.
are you looking forward to it all Horizon, the sequel?
Yeah, I mean, and that's another one. I wish I beat the last one. I really did.
Mm.
I didn't beat it. I saw all the footage on it, but I didn't beat it, and I kind of wish I did.
Did
I
you did
mean,
you did you at least try to get yourself up to date with the story?
yeah, like I said, I saw all the story stuff, so I can know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I kind of wish I got a deep dive more into it. But I am gonna play it. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I do have a fear that that's gonna feel like it's the same game though.
Yeah,
I think
you mentioned that before. Yeah.
it looks exactly the same. Even the footage they show look the fucking same. So I'm not like the most. That's not the top of my list of stuff that I have pre-ordered that I'm looking forward to.
Mm-hmm.
I have some weird Square Enix game. I forgot what it's called.
I
That's
looked
like on my
into it.
list.
Yeah, yeah. What was the name of it? I did
Babylon. That's what it was.
Babylon's Fall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Babylon's
or Fall of
Fall.
Babylon, one of the other.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
looked into
whatever.
it. It's an online game. It's a co-op game, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it
So
is.
the fact that you're gonna get it probably means I'm gonna get it too at some point. So we'll probably play
Yeah,
together. But the thing is like I was really disappointed when I got Godfall for free, and I didn't like that game. I really didn't like that game.
no, me neither. I didn't even know if I was able to play with you because it was two different versions of it.
Hmm.
But I didn't care. Like this game's not good, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
It was really
So it's hit or
bad.
miss with some co-op stuff.
It had potential, but they failed in every aspect that you can possibly fail on with that game.
Hmm.
I mean, the fact that everybody looks exactly the same
Yeah. Yeah.
is super disappointing.
Yeah.
The fact that all the styles or classes or whatever you call it were exactly the same. It's just there was too much that was just failed to
Anybody
me.
doing a co-op game, take examples from like Remnant or Outriders. Those are really
I,
good, well done games.
Remnant was fucking phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
people still play Remnant. You know,
I'm still waiting for a sequel. I love that game. Um So, all right. So, aside from all that stuff, so we definitely pre-ordered most of those games, and we're looking forward to those. What about the Nintendo Direct stuff? The Nintendo Direct was they announced some things. Earthbound was one of them. Like I remember playing it as a kid, and I can't wait to try it again at some point. But with RPGs, you gotta have the time to invest in it. Um, but there was also Kirby. They announced Kirby, the Forgotten Lands, I think it was called, for the open world Kirby stuff, and they showed Kirby eat a freaking car. So he can drive a car, and he can like eat a vending machine and kind of shoot out the little vending items and stuff as a weapon. So he can he's got a lot of cool new tricks that you've never seen before. So I'm actually looking forward to that stuff.
No, the game looks fun. The game when I first heard they were gonna make a Kirby open world, I'm like, about time.
Yeah.
You know, they've always done them. Even like the newer ones have been like the classic 2D side scrolling. You know, like
hmm
2D/3D
Yeah,
side scrolling
the
game,
last one I played was the Kirby Yarn
and
World one for
and
the
they're fun,
DS.
and they're still kind of fun. Don't get me wrong. There's
Mm.
nothing to take away from them. They are what they're meant to be, but you could tell it deserved. It needed to do that. Mario. What the fuck was the Mario game for Nintendo? Mario 64.
what's what's the what's the 64
Yeah,
Mario game called?
yeah, right. Mario, they needed the Mario 64
Yeah.
treatment, and it's surprised that it took them this long to do it because they did it with Metroid already, even though people don't like it and whatever. But they did it with that. They done it with all the big characters, Sonic, whatever, Mega Man. They've all had it. So why not this? There's like absolutely no reason why you shouldn't have had it too.
hmm
So I think it's way overdue. So I'm excited, super excited for that, and I think they're gonna do a good job with that. That's gonna be a fun game. Another, you know, notch on their belt for Nintendo
Yeah,
to make
yeah, of course. I'm
billions
still
of
waiting
dollars.
for at least an announcement for the next Zelda game, which is going to be the Breath of the Wild sequel. Like that one I'm looking forward to because it's going
Yeah,
to be
Breath
an
of the Wild
actual
2.
connection.
I got pretty far in that, and then I got ADD off of that too. But
Oh
I
yeah, I
got,
forgot you bought that. Yeah.
yeah, I probably won't play it anymore, honestly. But I liked it. It was fun. I got it. I'll play the sequel now.
It's a good final boss battle. You should at least try to get to the end because you can go to the final boss whenever you'd like, as long as granted
Yeah,
you could survive it. But the final boss battle is actually pretty cool.
yeah. I've seen some. I've seen the speed run on it. It was kind of fun
Mm,
to watch.
mm. And then shoot, there was something else that I was looking forward to. Oh geez.
There's a lot. There's like 4 or 5 games. I think there's 4 games come out this month.
Yeah, this month. You
This
know what?
I
Let
know
me
for
let
me.
me let me look up release list actually.
The Babylon was one where I saw it. I'm like, I get tons of credit for birthdays and stuff, so I got it, and I was like, what is this? This looks good. I'll pre-order that. And then I saw it was coming out soon. I was like, oh, look at that. I think they also I think Nintendo announced their what is it? Their brawl games, those All Star Brawl things.
They're still doing that?
Yeah, those tennis
Oh
slash
jeez.
soccer fucking games. They announced a new one of that.
Yeah.
That looked that
Yeah.
looked interesting. And the graphics look good. And soccer, fucking Mario's weird.
So Tunic is coming out in March 16th. That I'm looking forward to. That's like if you like old school like top down Zelda, that's pretty much what it is.
Oh yeah, I remember
That
you
looks
showed
really
that
good.
thing. Yeah.
Um
What's that for?
that is for PC, Xbox, PC and Xbox.
Oh, okay.
And then there's Strangers of Paradise that comes out on March
Yes,
18th.
that's another game I'm looking forward to. I'm curious on the story and what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
You know, and the multiplayer is kind of fun. I did the multiplayer one on the demo. It works really well,
Mm.
surprisingly.
Were, are,
Um,
were you thinking about giving WWE 2K22 a chance?
no,
Yeah,
no.
so for those because I know we don't talk about wrestling much at all, but me and Danny were like huge wrestling fans for since we were infants pretty much. But we kind of lost interest in wrestling lately because it's just the quality isn't great. And then everybody knows 2K21 or 20. That was just
2K20, we
two,
skipped 21.
yeah. 2K20 was just so broken and bad. It got a same reputation pretty much as Cyberpunk did, like because they were always
Yeah,
releasing
actually, it was worse. It got a worse reputation because
yeah,
it got canceled really quick, and they didn't bother to fix shit. They're like, it is what it is. This game's fucked up.
yeah.
At least Cyberpunk tried to fix it. They put a bunch of patches out. You guys were like, nope, we're not fixing
Oh,
it. Yeah.
I thought this said March, but this is not March. May in May, Forspoken comes out. I know you're looking forward to that one.
Oh, I can't wait for that. You know
So
that.
May
That's
May 24th, May 24th is Forspoken.
that's gonna be a phenomenal game. I
Yeah.
still feel it. You know, I have very high hopes for that.
Um,
And they promoted that since fuck. Since the PlayStation 5 first came out. You know, that was
yeah.
the tech demo for Square Enix's tech demo. The Forsaken lady walking around doing all this shit. You know,
Oh,
and before it had a title.
um, actually, you know what else we could talk about? Our impressions on the Ghostwire Tokyo. You saw? Did you see the footage with that?
Oh, I can't wait for that game. That game is good.
That shit looks.
That,
Yo, I
that
thought
comes
that was
out.
gonna be. I thought that was gonna be the most generic first-person shooter, like horror-ish type game.
See, that's the thing. Everybody kept talking about. Like you guys kept saying, I'm disappointed because I thought it was gonna be a survival horror type game.
Yeah, I thought
That
it was gonna be
does
like a
not look the
Silent
same.
Hill ish or like a
Yes,
Resident Evil ish, but it's a first person action horror game, and it looks amazing.
and I never got the survival horror aspect. I always got it's super fun action game
Well, how did you get
where
that over a cinematic trailer though? Because that's what we were going off of at the
yeah,
time.
you're right. You are 100% right. But that's what I got.
So
I
weird.
thought it was just because the cinematic trailer also showed a lot of the game footage in it when they were shooting stuff and doing the
No,
spells.
before that, Danny. Before even that trailer. I know which one you're talking about. We were talking about it before that trailer. It was literally a
I thought,
cinematic trailer that was like the moon blowing up and some weird little girl or some shit. And then we,
oh,
we were we were
that's the
saying
same game.
we were saying how it looked like a Kojima game.
Oh, you know what? I didn't actually put those two together. I didn't know that was the same
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
It was once I saw the actual footage of um the gameplay, like, and people were still like, people thought because the first thing they saw was um that the girl with no head or no face or whatever, and
Hmm.
the other one was like about to bite your face off. Like they all saw that, and people thought right away that oh, this must be. Oh, sorry. They thought right away that oh, this must be a survival horror type game, like Silent Hill or something, because it looks scary. And I'm like, no, it's like an action game to me. It looks fun. I love the spells.
Hmm.
I love the way when people do spells and stuff like that. So
I was listening
you know,
to it may have been IGN or Game Informer podcast, and they were saying something that was hilarious. You said that it's pretty much a Doctor Strange game because all you see is like these hands moving back and forth and doing like these
yeah,
weird spells and stuff, and it
spells.
looked really badass. I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and
Doctor Strange in Tokyo.
yeah, and it looks like it's gonna be like you go forward, you get new spells. I don't know, it's
Hmm.
just very formulaic. It looks, but it
Oh.
looks like it's gonna be a fun action game to play.
Hmm.
Ultimately, and you can have your own little style of what moves you like the best. I don't think it is going to be like a meta to that. I think
Yeah,
it's just whatever you like to play, which
yeah.
I think is going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's what I got that same vibe too. Yeah, if
But
anybody
no,
hasn't seen the gameplay trailer, check it out on YouTube. Like that shit is
when
so good.
that comes out soon, too, like in a month, I think.
Shit, I should have looked that up.
I think it's in March. I think it's like 47 days when I was looking at when I got pre-ordered it recently.
Ghostwire. There's no date. Really?
There's no date. I could have swore it said 47 days when
Oh,
I
here it is. Launches on PC and PS5 March 25th.
see. I was right. 47. That's about right.
Yep.
Yeah. So
For some
I
reason,
know
though, Wikipedia doesn't have a date on it. That's surprising.
it's weird.
March 25th. So yeah, a couple weeks. A couple
No,
weeks.
I'm
A
looking
couple a
for it.
month.
I think that's a month. Yeah, I think month and a half. But yeah, I think that's gonna be a great game. I
Yeah.
mean, it's gonna be a nice fun. I saw again. There's a lot of one of those games where I think it's gonna be quick. You're gonna beat it and then be over it. It's just be just like Sifu. It's gonna have the same attention span as Sifu does.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't see it being more than that. You know, it's not a game that you're really gonna deep dive into it. And I don't think it's a game that's gonna be more than maybe 12 hours at most to beat. You know, just like Sifu. Like
I hope not. I
Sifu.
hope it's longer than that.
I don't think so. Again, because and that's not a. Doesn't feel like it's a challenging game either.
You
You
never
know what I
know.
mean?
You
Like
never
you
know.
don't see tons because you could tell Sifu right away was going to be fucking challenging.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, like a fighting game, that fucking fighting slash action game, you can already tell. Some games you can just automatically see that it's gonna be a fun. Again, it's gonna be fun. Sometimes you want that though. Sometimes you want like the darkness. The darkness was great. It wasn't hard, but it was great. It was fun. You get to go around fucking eating people as a monster, you know, or
Yeah.
whatever tentacle things you were. But you know, it was what it was, and you got your powers and you do upgrades, and you go through it and you shoot and you blast through shit and you beat the
And
game. And next,
they ended that fucking game in a cliffhanger, the second game, and I'm so mad that they're not gonna make a sequel.
yeah, I don't actually remember the second one at all. I know I played it, but I don't remember at all.
Mm. Speaking of which, too, they speaking of sequels that weren't were or actually speaking of games that weren't made, I don't remember the company. Should remember the company, but the company that was making that dragon game, Scalebound,
Yeah.
they're trying to convince Microsoft to bring it back. Yeah, Platinum Games. Platinum Games was the company. So yeah, they're trying to persuade them pretty much to be like, hey, we're so interested in finishing this game up, you know, if whenever you're ready to bring it. And obviously it'll be costly if they did that. So and it's been quite a while too. So it's like the longer a game goes, not being revived, the further into the abyss it'll go. See it again. So
Yeah.
hopefully it was really cool. Like for those who missed out on Scalebound, like the gameplay trailers and stuff like that, it's pretty much like a Devil May Cry game, except you get to customize and ride a dragon, and it's multiplayer. So like all your dragons are look different, or your characters look different, and you can just fuck shit up as a dragon, or riding your dragon, or fuck shit up like hand to hand combat and stuff. Guns, I think he had guns. But yeah, that's pretty much the vibe that I got with it. That was pretty cool. But anything else before we finish up here? Because we're not gonna do the gaming beatdown, of course, because you know it's just me and you. There's not much of a debate if it's just me and you. The guys
Yeah.
right now, the guys right now got some personal stuff going on, so you know they're
Everything's 50-50.
yeah, right. And you know most of the time we're butting heads on opinions anyways, so that'll be a futile
Yeah.
moment. So yeah, we'll skip the gaming beatdown. We'll talk about it again next week. So we'll finish up the finals, the final rounds of gaming beatdown. So nothing else for you, Danny.
Nope, that's it. Really.
That's it. So thank you guys for joining us. We're under an hour. This is probably the shortest episode we ever did. Check out gamerguardians.net if you guys want to check out any game reviews that I do for the coalition. I just reviewed Ollie Worlds, which is like a skateboarding game. It's got a lot of great reviews, not just from me but from other people as well. You can check that out.
That just
And
came out too
yeah,
recently, right?
it just came
I
out.
saw
It
that
came out
on.
on the 8th, February 8th. And today is the
Yeah.
10th. So yeah,
Yeah.
it got good reviews. You can also check out the website for any podcast, like the audio podcast as well, if you guys want to listen to it on Google, Spotify, Apple, things like that. So all the links are on there, as well as the YouTube page as well, and all of our social media. So check that out and enjoy yourselves for the rest of the week. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, Danny.
Peace.